Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, today's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Tuesday, the 31st of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 47,611 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 48,319. Plenty of support from the broader market will be needed for Bitcoin to break back through to 48,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 48,924.7 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target 50,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 49,633. Ready to move through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level at 46,297 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 45,000 levels. Second major support level at 45,589 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, marks widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. That's coming off the back of the late sell-off and this morning's pullback. So look out for further direction there. On the MAs, that's also bearish. 50 closing in on the 200 while pulling away from the 100. So look out for a bearish cross there that would weigh on Bitcoin through the day. So key would be to move through the pivot at 47,611 back through to 48,000 levels. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also a bearish start. Going to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 3241 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 3337. Support from the broader market will be needed for Ethereum to break back through to 3300. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib at 3369 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ethereum target 3500 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 3445. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 3133 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should continue to avoid sub 3000s. Second major support level at 3038 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a bearish cross at the turn of the day. That's coming off the back of yesterday's late pullback and this morning's declines. So look out for a further widening of the bearish histograms. On the EMAs, 50 has narrowed marginally on the 100 and the 200. So look out for a further narrowing there. Key would be to move back through the pivot at 3241 and back through to 3300 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that, and support levels will be in play. Across the Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 170 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 174. Plenty of support is going to be needed for Litecoin to break back through to 170 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, should see Litecoin target 185 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 180. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 164 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 160. Second major support level at 160 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. So look out for further direction there. On the MAs, that's a bearish signal, 50 pulling back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move through the pivot at 170 to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that, support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bucking the trend this morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.1153 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.1344. Support will be needed to break back through to 1.13 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1.1487 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, we've got the second major resistance level at 1.1678 to cap any upside on the day. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 1.0819 in play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the third major support level, so at 1.0105. 38.2% fib at 1.0659, and the second major support level at 1.0629 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we had a bearish cross late yesterday, so look out for direction through the early part of the day. Coming off the back of this morning's gains, should see a narrowing of those bearish histograms. On the MAs, that's a bearish signal, however, 50 pulling further back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.1153 and move back through to 1.13 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play.